Alright, good morning guys. Welcome to another class, another of our weekend class by the way. And I've seen some of the things you've been doing, right? Some of you have been practicing, and please, I want to indulge you. Yesterday I posted that before the class this morning, you should practice, at least be comfortable with the basic tools we are using for this, class. All right, so you know how to move stuff, you know how to draw, know how to scale, rotate, stuff like that. All right, so that's about that. So we'll be continuing with our head character, from last week. So today we'll just go on and add nose and mouth to the character. All right, so we'll play with it. Like I said, have fun. Don't try to get it all right. All right, you're just starting, and I and the team, we are trying as much as possible to make it simple, right? So even during the week, I had some ideas, but I was just thinking if you're going to catch up. So with the pace some of you are going, I think I should just stick with the simplicity, and we'll go more advanced. I mean, we have till March for this class, so we'll go more advanced with this. So I want you to practice. So today we'll be adding the nose, we'll add the mouth. All right, so I want you to take it one step at a time. If you do not follow, please ask question. Also, if you do follow, please keep practicing. Don't try to jump any process. Don't try to impress me or impress anybody. All right, so just keep one step at a time, till you get it right. All right, so there's no artist. If you ask any artist, I mean, a lot of them sucked at the beginning, right? So there's nobody who got it right at the very beginning. So I want you to, all right, so without talking too much, I don't like talking too much anyway. By the way, I talk too much, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and add the head. Remember, press Alt and select the head. Remember, this is separate. Some of you added dynameshed the eye to the head. I mean, even in real life, that does not happen, for God's sake. Please do not do that. I mean, imagine your eyes were joined like to your skin, to the skin of your head. I mean, how would you pluck it out? How will somebody pluck it out, or whatever it is? I mean, the eyes, even your body, your eyes is not meshed to your skin, right? So try as much as possible not to do that. So they are both separate objects. If you come to your subtool, which you can call your layer, they are separate objects. So we can choose to rename this guy the eye. Rename the eyes. Just name it eyes. All right. So you have the eye. So you can choose to rename the head. Select the head and rename. Give it head. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So when you select that, the eye comes in, you select the head is isolated, just in case it doesn't isolate in your own, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so my head, I'm just checking it from different angle to before I start sculpting. So by the way, when you launch ZBrush for the first time, as in when you shut down ZBrush and launch again, I mean, my tools will disappear. So all you have to do is just come here and select different windows like we did the last time. Alright, so we have our brushes. Okay, so today I'm going to introduce you to another brush called the Inflate brush. But before we go there, first of all, let's select our clay builder brush. So some of you, it showed when you try to sculpt, it showed this, all right, which it's not really a big deal, right? But you won't want your brush to start sculpting in square. You want it to be smooth, right? I mean, for high-end like detail sculpting, you would want that to be active. For example, if I'm sculpting a dinosaur, all right, so the skin is really rough, so I'll just have to have that rough kind of, so when I'm smoothing it out, it will still have the rough alpha. So So these, when you come down here, come to alpha, these are alphas, right? So it's more like let me see, how can I break this down to the way you understand. So if I select like this alpha, it's more like sculpting, you know, when you sculpt details into, you know, into objects, when you want to add details to it. So this serves as, you know, that catalyst that gives you that leverage to do that. For example, if I want to give this guy like a Yoruba mark, right? For example, just give him some kind of, you know, scratch on the face. Maybe you're sculpting, giving the guy a Yoruba mark or something. Again, so there are different, you know, alphas here. There's some when you want to make it face rough, you know, add details to the face. You know, these are alpha. This is what they are used for. So by default, some of them it will be set to this. So when you start sculpting, you start seeing all these weird, you know, edges and all. So basically, that's what alphas do. You undo all that. That's what they do. So it helps you add details. So instead of sculpting them manually, so just select an alpha, you know, and add detail to your, you know, character. So this is too high, by the way. So it just gives you that realism. For example, if I'm sculpting a fish, you know, a fish has, you know, a very scale on the body. So you just want to find the one that works best. An elephant also has rough skin. So those are what these alphas do. So it just help speed up your, you know, workflow. So there are different ones you can play with. So you can play with that anytime you want. Maybe later you can just, you know, add that to your sculpt. So let's say you're sculpting a frog, for example. So all these details will be there, but you don't want to jump into that. Okay, so you can also you know, invert the sculptings, whereby if you sculpt and it comes out, you can also sculpt it and it goes in, right? So that's what it's all about. All right. I just want to avoid using, you know, terminologies that will bore you. Right, so you can read it up, actually, alphas on ZBrush, and you will see what I'm talking about. So some of the things you may not be able to pronounce them. Okay, some of them, me myself, I can't pronounce them. So by default it will be set to this. So you want to off the alpha so that you have a smooth. It's asking me if my undo history. Remember your undo history. So okay, that. So you have a smooth, you know, clay build up. So remember, it's set to hands free. Okay, so it's like you're drawing. All right. So that's pretty much it. For this is set to symmetry, you can switch symmetry off, right? You can switch it on. Alright, so let's add the nose. So I'll press S to scale my brush size. Come here, reduce the focal, you know, size so that it's focused on particular angle. So all I have to do is just build up the nose region. So what I'm just doing is just adding alright, so I'll select my move brush, just move stuff around. So you don't have to be too wild about it. So some of you are going to AY about it, so just take your time. Remember, this is a cartoon. It doesn't have to be realistic like a human nose, right? So you should give it, you can give it any style you want. You can give it a pointed I think I like this one, right? So I don't like it, so I like it simple. So you can play with it however you want. So for the brush I told you about, so we'll add an inflate brush. So all you have to do is press B, or you just come here for your brushes, but B for shortcuts to activate brushes. So there are so many brushes here, so it will be difficult for you to find inflate. So first of all, so what you do is to type the first letter in the inflate spelling. So you just type I, and to isolate all the I's, so you find inflate brush. So what this does is to inflate the region you are selecting. So let's be practical. So you see I'm inflating. You can also deflate by pressing Alt. Deflate, you can inflate too. So that's what I did. So just tapping it a little bit, not too high. Just tapping my mouse, right? Okay, if you notice, if you come closer, you notice that the geometry is being stretched more than this one. So you want to make them all equal. So it's very simple. Just hold down Control and draw a max outside. So it will now redynamesh. So when I smoothen this, it now becomes equal geometry. So it's not stressed anymore. So I think I'm liking my nose. So I want to deflate this inside. So I'll be switching between my move brush. Alright, it's a cartoon. Alright, so don't forget it is a cartoon. So you don't have to get it all correct. So cartoons, when you're creating a cartoon character, is about first understanding the concept you're creating. I'm giving you theories, by the way. You can be writing this down. First, understand the concept. If you're creating from a reference video or a lookalike, make sure you try to get the lookalike first, then before you exaggerate. So animation is more about exaggeration. So the running you see is exaggerating. No real human being will run the way a cartoon is running and never gets tired. It's all about exaggeration. So I'm moving stuff around, add my clay builder brush, reduce my brush size, and I'm just switching between my smooth brush, my clay builder brush, give it that depth. So as much as possible, I'm adding that human feel to it. All right, so it's believable. So I'll go back and select my inflate brush, right, hold down Alt and inflate this inside, deflate it inside. So it now has, so I'll max it to redynamesh the nose. Alright, so we are having a more angry head. So Africans, we have a big nose. So you rarely find an African man with a small nose, right? So just play with this, have fun, man. I'm just having fun. I can spend the whole day with this nose, for example, all right, till I'm satisfied. The thing with being an artist is that it takes, like my younger sister always tell me that I always try to be perfect, and in the process I'm wasting time. If a client is give me a job to do and I'm trying to make it perfect, the client might end up liking the stupid thing I'm doing, and you'll be like, you send it to him and you'll be like, this is amazing, but to him, oh, then you leave that thing, no wash me, this is rubbish. But it's the way life is, right? What you think is stupid in your eyes, might be a wow moment for someone else. So it's the irony of life. All right, so I think I don't want to waste too much time for the sake of the tutorial. The nose is pretty big. All right, so I'll increase this guy, just move it a bit, to give it that feel. Why is my eyes not active? Okay, so you activate your eyes here and the eyedropper too. So that's pretty much it. So I believe you're enjoying this class. I mean, the plan wasn't to give you too much theories. All right, so in the next class we are going to give our nose some shape. For example, in reality this nose is not the way it's supposed to be. All right, so we'll give it some shape, give it some carve some edges to it, give it some believability. All right, so that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next class. So let me see how you work on your nose. So while I go ahead and polish what I have done. So I will see you in the next class. Bye.